fair and you deserve better. So let me ask you this. Doesn't it make more sense to use a trusted solution that works from the inside out to sync with your metabolism in order to ignite your true fat burning potential so you too can experience the permanent weight loss victory you deserve? Today, it's finally time for you to seize control and lose weight 6 times faster than today's most popular commercial diets without counting a single calorie. Look and feel 10 to 20 years younger by eating the comfort food TV doctors are getting paid to say is unhealthy. Burn fat faster in female trouble spots by freeing up fat cells to use as on-demand energy. Live 22% longer by stacking carbohydrates in a way that actually strengthens your heart while you lose weight. Achieve the freedom from hunger and food obsession using a procrastination method used in Alcoholics Anonymous for over 75 years. Find the golden window of when to drink wine and still lose weight, all by simply using the stopwatch on your smartphone. And so much more. And don't take my word for it. Listen to what women like you are saying about how easy it is to drop weekly dress sizes by doing the exact opposite of what they have tried in the past. Someone up there must have heard my prayers. The initial stages of menopause had already done a number on the way I look and feel. After everything, I didn't care about losing 20 pounds. I just wanted to start feeling like myself again and get back the energy and confidence I had in my 20s and 30s. Well, it's just been under 2 months and it seems as though those prayers have been answered. Not only do I feel 10 years younger, but I've already lost 23 pounds and wore a size 6 to my son's graduation. Thank you so much, Carly, and the support of the Cinderella team.
And Carolyn, who just left a message saying,
"Hey guys, I just got my blood test back and, well, I had to tell somebody. My husband's not home and my sister didn't answer, so I thought of you guys at the customer support center. Anyway, it's official. As of this morning, my doctor told me that I don't need to take my blood pressure or even my thyroid pills anymore. On top of that, I don't own a scale at home, so even though getting off the meds is a huge win for me, I was really looking forward to seeing how much weight I had lost, and I knew it was going to be good because I'm usually a size 12 and I'm back into a size 6 for the first time since kids. Anyway, 52 pounds down. 52 freaking pounds. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much to all of you and all the ladies on the support team. Thank you, thank you, thank you."
Take a second right now. Imagine the feeling of going to bed tonight, knowing you have found the last weight loss solution you will ever need. Feels pretty nice, right? And after all this time, that's the peace of mind you deserve. I am just so excited
for you to knock over that one metabolic domino sitting inside of you right now with the power to unleash a fat loss cascade and finally kickstart your natural fat burning systems into overdrive for 22 hours a day. So you too can look back at that big, beautiful, confidence-soaked smile that has been missing from your mirror for years now, instead of continuing to avoid your reflections at all costs like I used to. And girl, before we get into this, you need to know that none of this is your fault.
I can tell you right now, it's not because you are too old or too far gone, and it is not because you are undisciplined or unwilling to put in the work.
If a 40-year-old working mother like me can lose control of their body like this and get it back,
so can anybody, especially you.
As a woman who deserves the fairy tale life you dreamed of when you were younger, it is now time to empower yourself with a solution designed for women by a woman who was put on this planet to help women like you reclaim control over their body and their life that they deserve.
Are you with me? Then let's do this.
All right, first off, I was never one of those skinny girls who eats whatever she wants while still looking perfect in every picture she posts on Facebook. Far from it. As you can see from these pictures, I've always had a turtle-slow metabolism combined with wacky hair and a complexion that looked like I washed my face with a pork chop each morning. I guess you could call me the original ugly duckling. Luckily, these battles with weight and body image inspired me to open my own special place, devoted to those looking to reclaim the health, happiness, and confidence that had left them so long ago. Pretty soon after opening my first weight loss center, a buzz began to circle around the city. The word was getting out about my ability to arm people with the tools needed to free themselves from the bodies that had held them hostage for so long. Pretty soon, one location became a few, and a couple of clients became thousands. Awards, national interviews, speaking engagements, everyone wanted to know the secret behind my weight loss and famous body re-imaging formulas. I cannot tell you how rewarding it is to actually find your calling by doing the very thing you were put on this planet to do.
But then, just when it seemed like everything was going according to plan, something happened. It was like my metabolism began to pack its bags and leave town, taking with it my energy, my youth, my libido, and my confidence. You know how it is. You barely notice it's happening. The weight just seems to sneak onto your body 1 ounce at a time, slowly inflating your hips and thighs while deflating your courage and confidence. I was working a lot, raising a family, so instead of watching what I ate, spending hours exercising, I bought bigger clothes and avoided the beach and pools at all costs. My libido had diminished into a dull-lit flame while my confidence and energy evaporated. Near the end, I couldn't even play with my daughter without getting tired. At this point, I just felt like a fraud. I knew I was failing myself, but the worst part was letting down the clients, family, and friends who depended on me. Each little failure was like a hot blade twisting away at my self-esteem. One afternoon, as I sat in a bathroom stall, I overheard 2 clients talking about me. I knew I wasn't looking my best, but I couldn't believe my ears when I heard.
How can she call herself a professional with that gut hanging over her pants? Talk about a horrible example.
Twist. Then, Play-Doh Tummy Mummy became the character most featured in the artwork my daughter brought home from school. Twist. Congratulations, shouted my neighbor across the street, praising me for my non-existent pregnancy. P.S. That wasn't the only time that happened, but I'll take some of the blame since I had recently busted out my maternity clothes from when I was pregnant. Twist. And it felt like that blade broke off inside of me when the doctor said,
"Carly, listen. Soon you'll be adding diabetes to your hypertension and endometriosis if you keep up with these reckless eating habits."
Before I could tell him I was eating healthy and trying to exercise, he showed me a vial of salmon-colored liquid.
I mean, just look at your blood. All of those fatty triglycerides coagulating your veins and arteries have literally turned your blood pink.
Shame quickly turned into fear as he blamed me for everything, instead of condemning the proven evolutionary disconnect that women like you and I have zero control over. The thing is, at the time, I had no clue that my body was making the metabolism paralyzing transition that happens to all women after puberty to prepare the body for childbearing over the next 30 years. The truth is, 200,000 years of evolution have conditioned the female body to alter your hormones at different stages of your life, so you too can build a human being with your body.
You see, during puberty, your 3 queen beauty and youth hormones, insulin, cortisol, and estrogen, do everything possible to make you more attracted to the opposite sex, keeping you slender, level-headed, and energetic. However, soon after, these 3 queens start acting more like evil stepmothers, right after puberty, all the way through menopause, continuously cycling your body for pregnancy each and every month.
First, insulin, that used to be your skinny hormone that kept you slender, begins making it almost impossible for you to lose weight and keep it off. Then, your happy hormone, cortisol, transitions to your anxiety, stress, depression, and sadness for no reason hormone. And finally, your pretty hormone, estrogen, that kept you wrinkle-free, toned, and energized, soon causes age spots, loose skin, and cellulite. This is simply your body switching from find a mate mode to procreate mode, and it's because our job as women to carry on the human race.
We end up building bodies that look great for making and protecting our babies, and not so good for the beach in a little black dress. And listen, I know your goal in life is to be more than some baby-making machine. But from a biological standpoint, the female body only cares about 2 things: staying alive and making more lives. Think about it. Your body is literally designed to build a bigger, warmer, and softer environment to help you create the next generation of humans. So that's why when you use traditional diets, exercise, and pills that treat the problem from the outside in, you're actually fighting an ongoing losing battle of 200,000 years of evolution, while damaging your hormones, dismantling your metabolism with every pound you lose. That's why as soon as you stop dieting or working out, your body starts to gain back all the weight almost immediately, punishing you with headaches, depression, and irregular periods and poor sleep. Sound familiar? That's your body literally saying, "I don't think so, Missy." This is all beginning to make sense, isn't it?
Think about it. All those diets that have you counting points, carbs, and portions that force intense cravings and binge eating actually damage your insulin, causing uncontrollable weight gain, insulin resistance, and diabetes. And it's these high-intensity routines, DVDs, and grueling fitness classes actually skyrocket cortisol levels, doing irreversible damage to your joints while creating microscopic scars on your heart. And please don't tell me you spent the thousands I did at places like these. I know they work for a little bit, but 92% of us gain all the weight back while priming estrogen levels for constant headaches, irregular periods, endometriosis, along with ovarian, breast, and cervical cancers.
But the sad thing is, even though helping so many women from around the world and actually being part of these victories is so rewarding, this video, this whole movement, almost never happened.
You see, on that fateful day when I hit the floor, I was experiencing a deadly storm of hormonal dysfunction that nearly stole everything I had.
As blood tests would later reveal, my insulin levels were at rock bottom from the last 2 weeks of low-carb dieting, and my estrogen levels were through the roof. As it turns out, fat cells, which I had a lot of, have a knack for not only producing more estrogen, but grasping onto it and letting it fester inside your body as well. But in the end, the doctor said what actually pushed me over the edge was the reflection of the obese woman staring back at me in the mirror that morning. You see, my stress hormone, cortisol, was already at a deadly boiling point from the constant worrying, excess cardio, stress, and lack of sleep. However, it was the image of myself, whom I barely recognized, who I was so ashamed of, that rocketed my blood pressure through the roof, causing what the doctor called a pulmonary embolism. Combined with the off-the-charts insulin and estrogen that so many of us are suffering from without even knowing it, it's so scary to think that we are all just one stressful experience away from a mini stroke like mine, or a heart attack, or a seizure, or even worse.
Looking back, I'm actually one of the lucky ones, because it's no wonder that one of us dies every 20 seconds from disease tied to our weight.
And that day, I was especially lucky my husband managed to get me to the hospital in record time. Hours later, I woke up like it was any other day, tired, achy, and hungry. The only difference was I was in a hospital bed attached to a heart monitor with tubes running in and out of me. Even worse, that big old bum of mine couldn't even break my fall, because as I'd find out later, I had 2 bruised vertebrae in my lower back. Then, with my eyes barely open, I could see my husband and the doctor talking by my feet, still thinking I was asleep. And really, because we had been so distant with each other lately, it was no surprise that my husband didn't notice that I had woken up.
"You're lucky she's here,"
said the doctor. I listened to the new list of medications I was getting along with a medically prescribed weight loss plan, consisting of the same old low carb, low fun, lots of exercise, rules, and regulations. Yay for me.
"But sir, I'm going to be extremely blunt with you here,"
whispered the doctor.
"For your family's sake, please get your wife's affairs in order, because she's literally only a couple of pounds or months away from, well, I don't have to tell you."
The beeps on the heart monitor began to increase.
"The truth is, her growing resistance to insulin has damaged her ability to manage blood sugar levels. The stress of all this, combined with the excess weight, is now forcing her body to pump out ridiculous amounts of estrogen and cortisol. So at this point, I don't know what we need to worry about more: cancer, diabetes, or a heart attack."
My heart monitor began to race. Finally, my husband looked over and realized I was awake. To my shock, I realized that tears were streaming down his face. For the first time ever in my life, I saw my husband cry. He had watched me struggle with my weight for years, but it was the threat of losing me while becoming a single, widowing father that pushed him over the edge. Then, wiping away the tears with one hand while clutching mine with the other, he revealed a look of calm determination on his face. As his grip grew tighter, he looked into my eyes and whispered in my ear,
This all ends today. You will be there to watch me walk our daughter down the aisle one day, and you're going to look just as gorgeous as the day I met you."
The heart monitor slowed.
You and I both know that this extra weight, the hypertension, all this is not your fault, and I think we both know how I'm going to get my wife back.
That was the moment everything changed. You see, it was only 3 weeks before landing my broken butt in the hospital that I read a press release issued by the World Health Organization, naming Japan as the healthiest country on the planet. It turns out Japan has ranked top 5 for the last 50 years. That alone got my attention, but what really took my breath away were the statistics that backed up these claims from the world's most respected health authority.
Get this, Japanese women live to an astonishing average age of 87 years old, a record number that has continued to climb since the 1960s. That's over 10 years longer than we get to live here. 10 years! Can you imagine getting an extra decade on this planet with your loved ones? Not only this, but the Japanese were also named the most disease-resistant and happiest country as well. These women had uncommonly low rates of dementia, depression, heart attacks, and strokes. So not only were they living longer, but for the last half-century, their quality of life was dominating ours as well. As I'd later find out, the Japanese had made one simple alteration to their eating habits 62 years ago. And it was this subtle yet profound adjustment that supercharged their immune systems with the unique hormonal synergy needed to produce warrior antibodies that actually fought tooth and nail against disease and obesity. Here, most of us are so sick already without even knowing it, that our bodies willingly invite disease to set up shop, suffocating, dismantling, and killing the ability to fight at all. Finally, I had to raise an eyebrow when I read this next part. The study revealed that Japanese women on average are 42 pounds lighter than American women. That's right. While our obesity rate dominated 75% of our population last year, Japan's obesity rate remained almost non-existent.
How could that be? How could one country be the most disease-resistant, longest-living, happiest, and skinniest country all at once? And don't worry, I was just as shocked as you are right now when I saw these numbers. Naturally, like you, I wanted to find out why, but more importantly, how. But there was one problem. As I scrolled down my phone for the answer, the article simply ended. It was over, just statistics, and no reason why, or even a hint